should do it. Why are you looking at me like that?
On the screen.
Okay. Let's see.
DM recap. Let's go.
Okay.
Or do we want inspiration?
I mean, I did blow all my inspiration.
Yeah,
on
I did too.
intimidation.
Hey,
It was a good blow, though.
It was.
Quote that. Quote that.
going with it now. So we start the session with Bodhi death saves. We get a little flashback. Next in initiative is Awen, who also does death save. We get a little flashback. But, surprise nat 20, Awen's back up. I think Rick healed Awen, and was like, don't die or whatever.
Direct
whatever.
quote.
Y'all continue to fight bad guys. I can't.
Lorak.
The Rock, yeah. And Bodhi makes another death save, but then is caught in an AoE. I think it was Shatter. Which is third death save. Womp womp. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Very tragic moment. Very, very bad, very sad, very thumbs down.
Not very
And not very demure, not very mindful. Awen tries to rush over to him and like speak to whoever the fuck it is that she speaks to. Obviously didn't really do anything, but she knows that there's the All Faith Shrine and the troop that Bodhi was traveling with and the matriarchs. Let me see here. Rick kills Maliko with Dissonant Whispers. Then Contagious marks Lorak, or I wrote The Rock as Johnson.
And just put that in the chat.
Love it.
There's like, the earth claims all, it will devour your flesh and bones, we are
Did you
the...
record him? That was perfect.
Yeah. It was spot on. I thought I was talking.
I started going to myself. And I was like, where's that from? I was like, oh, that's Denali skeletons.
It's the Bone Daddies.
The Bone Daddies. We are the bedrock of destruction. You fight against the inevitable. No one escapes the Earth's embrace. And then Rick makes a con save and fails on it.
Oh yeah, Horn. Okay, so
The
reason why Horn is so strong.
Oh yeah, Jen is dead. Mirabar trade bars.
Yeah, it's the two pyramids together that I believe Contagious had posted in chat.
Oh, that's right, the thingy. That's what the soul drawing is. That was an item someone found, right?
Correct. Yes. I think three
And then-
of you each have one in your inventory.
And then, while Contagious and Rick were looking at bodies, Awen was checking out the room really quickly. All of the 6 slabs on the 3 walls had skeletons on them, and they're cool. Not a sigil, a sigil, a sigil, if you will. And it was one in particular from the floaty orb thingy. One that Awen recognized, and there was some runic or maybe not runic, I don't know. There was some kind of writing in a language Awen didn't understand, and she was taking rubbings of it. And then Contagious kind of walked over and was like, "Hey, I know what that says." And
I can speak to rocks.
I wrote 15 gold. I don't know if I was supposed to put that in manually.
I think I
But-
put it in for you.
Okay.
And then just a reminder
And
more to
then-
myself is Rick has wanted to put your own gold, handle your own inventory with the gold you received and stuff, right? So we don't double up on it again. Okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to do that, it's fine.
Okay.
That's where my notes leave off. I think we had decided Contagious was gonna, you know, take care of Bodhi and Jen's, not take care of, or like pick up, carry Jen and Bodhi's bodies. And I think, did I might have just made this up, but I think you told us to start a head forward.
Yeah, I told you guys to go ahead to get to make sure
Oh yeah,
sepsis
sepsis.
was okay
Yeah.
while I
Yeah.
got these prepped because it's gonna take me a minute to get these. Yeah.
Yes. Very solid.
Okay.
recap. Everybody has been inspired.
I feel so inspired.
So inspired. Yeah, so that is where we left off with Awen
I-
and Rick moving forward. Go ahead.
I like to imagine that when I use those 3 inspirations to try to intimidate him, I actually like dead run 3 different like run excuse me, sorry, run and we got it right the last time.
Yes, and
Um,
he's just looking at you confused and bewildered, and that last one he's
Yeah,
like,
he's more
"Ah!"
intimidated by how weird the interaction was than the actual
Yeah.
statement itself.
I love that.
When we do get inspiration from a recap, is it full inspiration?
It's one in
No,
cap,
just
one
one.
in cap, one inspo for a recap.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. No, that's totally fine. I guess I just happened to start every session with 3. Okay.
Yeah, you guys
Most of
have
us were
been.
pretty good at saving inspiration up, and then
Mhm.
we kind of all blew it on this fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
but that's what we.
Okay,
that's
continue.
what they're there for, you know.
Action.
Yes. Oh, and then before I forget, something that a couple of my tables have. And did we already talk about the action versus bonus action for healing potions here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Okay, perfect. I can't remember which tables I have and have not discussed that.
Yup,
with.
yup. I like that rule.
I think it's perfect. I think it makes a lot of sense. And then, of course, when you administer it to somebody else, it does still take an action, but you do still have to roll for it because you can't like force their unconscious body to swallow and all that good stuff. Okay, refraining from making terrible jokes. Yeah, so we pick up.
Glad I'm not the only one.
yeah. No, I've been whiling out lately, and my husband's had to tell me like, you need to chill. Okay, yes, sir, sorry. Contagious had found a little bit of cloth over by one of the lamps and had used that to cover Jen's body. It is now, it's not saturated, but it has started to soak up some of the blood from the gaping wound in her neck. As you gingerly pick up the remains of Jen and Bodhi, Awen and Rick have started heading into the other room to check on Septhys. And the floor is yours.
So real quick, once they've left, I want to take the time to obviously get Jen's body over by Bodhi so I can prepare to lift both of them. But once both of them are out of the room, I am going to go over to Maliko's body. Still kind of, because we're maybe like 2 minutes out of combat at this point, right?
Yeah, I'd say between 2 and 5, depending on how much time you guys spent investigating and
Right.
checking things out. Yeah.
So still a little bit adrenaline pumping. Contagious is going to just kind of like pick up Maliko's body by like the front of the chest, just kind of like lifting it up to his height and bring it over to one of the rocks and just kind of pin it up against the rock and gritting his teeth to refrain himself from screaming because he knows they're still close. He's just going to pump about 4 or 5 shocking grasps into the body before throwing it off to the side,
Very cool.
and then walk over and prepare himself to grab one body per shoulder and slowly start heading out.
Okay. What does this look like as you cast Shocking Grasp into the growing cold corpse of Malikos?
Probably doesn't look like much from the outside. Seeing as it's fairly simple magic for him, and it's not like electricity coming out of the body, whatever. Probably just convulsing a bit, a little bit of char around where his hands are holding it on the clothing, as he just kind of just pumps all his frustration into it and throws the body to the side. Probably a little charred.
Yes, charred, and there is some smoke coming from where the contact was made. And as you are casting this into the body of Malikos, and the body convulses and grows rigid, some blood starts to come out of the orifices, the nostrils, and the eyes and ears and mouth. And from the electricity that jolts through the body, it quickly begins to coagulate and dries quickly on the flesh before you throw her body to the floor. I like that. I'm going to give you inspiration for that.
And then, yeah, I'm just gonna situate the bodies in a way where I can try to pretty much scoop both of them up at the same time and get them one over each shoulder and just slowly start making my way out.
And you're able to. You don't need to roll or anything for that.
Unless you want to.
Yeah, if you want to, you can, but I would not test fate.
Because he's not gonna push himself. Like I am probably walking a third speed at this point, just to make sure that because I'm not exactly doing great either. So
Okay.
I had taken a little bit of damage there.
Yeah.
A little bit. And Contagious, correct me if I'm wrong. You have experienced loss of loved ones at a tremendous capacity. But I believe this is the first time that you have had any kind of say or sway or hand in, if you will, the preparation for any kind of rites or anything of that sort, correct?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I would say most any other deaths I had would be with random mercenary groups who didn't exactly do much for the dead. So,
Okay. Death is not anything new to you. The coming and going of people in different groups, whether it be yourself coming and
Oh,
going,
no.
or
I think we're losing Denali.
Oh, no.
Oh, phew, I thought it was me.
Is this better? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Think so? I think we're good.
Testing. Alabaster? I don't know why I said alabaster. I was just trying to think of words to say.
No, it sounds better. You turned into a robot there for a minute, but I think we're good now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay, cool. This is not the first time that you have dealt with death, obviously. And you are used to the coming and going of companions, and that's a very strong word for you. But travel companions. Whether it be you coming into and leaving a group or others leaving you. It is not your first time carrying around literal dead weight, but there is a lump that catches in your throat as you lift the bodies of Jen and of Bodhi. There is a heaviness that is not tangible. It is almost ineffable as you raise them over your shoulders and begin to follow after Awen and Rick. A heaviness that weighs down your soul rather than your body as the reality of things begin to set in with a whole new first for you. Rick
I
and A-
think
Go ahead.
as they're on their way back to the chamber where they left Septhys, Awen is pretty quiet. You saw when she first made it over to Bodhi's body before this is while combat was still happening. She was very frantic. It was pure panic driving her. But a almost foreign sense of calm has seemed to come over her. That's kind of simmered down into a almost dissociative focus. And she's probably leading the way to the next area.
As you navigate and return to where you had last left Septus,
No, it wasn't. It was her
the door's
fucking
left open,
inability to
and so
control
you
her.
can see straight through. And peering past that threshold, you see his body still where it was last you had seen him, unmoving. The dagger that you had given him loosely clutched in his hand.
Alright, nobody wants to
I'll
do that.
stoop over and check for signs of life.
With this, you do not need to do a medicine check. It is quite apparent from even just looking at him laying there. His chest is not rising and falling, even minutely. Taking a knee and beginning to check for a pulse. Before you even apply any pressure, his body is cold to the touch. As you press your pointer and middle finger down on his throat, looking for a pulse, there is nothing there. His eyes
Sir.
open and glossy.
I think she fucking hit us.
Awen will close his eyes. Is there... She'll pause and wait till Contagious gets there. Ideally, I'd like us to take Septus with us as well. Knowing Contagious can't carry him, it would be willing to try, but see if... Wait to try that until Contagious gets in the room.
Ropes.
I think we can manage that, but... I'd like to not drag him.
And the room they were in was like 2 rooms behind, right? Like I'd have to go out, go through the statue room, and then back to where they were.
Correct. Yeah, so
it probably only takes like 2 or 3 minutes before Contagious would show up.
yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I am kind of walking slow, but it's not that far.
Yeah, slow but with a
Yeah.
purpose, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awen will take one of the gray cloaks that she got from the tunnel. And try to wrap him up. I don't know.
Okay.
She'll kind of look to Contagious. I'm going to try to carry him. I'm not sure how far I'll get, but...
Let me double check how big he was. There's nothing in there. Okay, we'll say he's average. I think he was a little bit taller than average, but he was rather lean. So it would definitely be tiring depending on how far you're trying to carry him, but it would be doable.
Awen is gonna try to do like a fireman's carry, or I don't know if that's right, I saw it on TikTok. You like lean them up, and then you bend over and use their weight as momentum to kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get them over both shoulders, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we take his stuff?
Yeah, we don't know.
That's up to you
We
guys.
can deal with that when we
I
get
was
to the
gonna
top.
say, Awood wouldn't stop Rick before any of this happens if you were to.
I mean, yeah, if you want to.
Rick just kind of hops on him and starts rummaging.
Are you taking everything?
Yeah.
All right, let me transfer all this to your inventory.
He was gonna be the one to get hit right first.
That dude woke me up from my good dream.
And I said, okay, that's fine.
It's true.
The first hit rag, as long as I have a shot at getting out cash. And I brought
Are you taking the backpack as well?
me and Fox equipment.
Sure, why not?
However,
How many backpacks can a small dude carry?
like you stated just now,
Probably a couple.
I truly
You got like one on the back and one on the front. You're like,
Yes.
what matters for me is
We're all a bit loaded up on this trip out.
if it's not gonna be
Oh man.
We don't have encumbrance, right? You're not taking that into account?
I mean, at some point it will. I
Sorry.
mean, if you're just hoarding everything, then I mean, it will come into play at some point. But I mean,
I'll just find a bag of
basically
holding
carrying
somewhere.
another person's backpack isn't gonna weigh you down.
Okay.
Yeah, I figure once we get some rest, we can do some inventory management, figure out what we want to get rid of and what we want to keep.
6 and get rid of the double up.
who gets it. What matters for me is that it goes to somebody like just like you said.
That seems oddly specific. 24 life jackets.
Right. Flask.
I'm sure. Certainly, it's not like they know from like.
Yeah, that's.
Who knows? We could get lucky and
This way kind of consolidates that.
potential too.
Rope. This will add a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I really hope it's
Sorry, Fantasy Grounds is a little slow right now.
No worries.
Alright, everything has successfully been added to your inventory, Rick.
Yeah.
As you waste no time pillaging the dead body of your fallen friend. I love it. Okay, everything.
Rick's alignment chart goes down a bit. No, I'm just
Let's see. My strength is 17. I don't know if that requires a strength roll.
No, I won't make you roll for that.
God damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a 17?
Yes.
She a big
Damn.
cake.
Strength. I made sure it wasn't my dump stat because it typically is.
Nice.
I mean, I'm only beating you by 1 strength. That's impressive. Yeah, you strong, girl.
Strong woman.
Making you climb the next tree, Jesus.
Dress her up as contagious for your freaking contest against Garrett.
Oh my.
Hold up. No, I was already 3 times his height. He won't know the difference.
No, of course not. Okay.
Later.
How would you guys like to proceed as you now carry the bodies of 3 fallen friends.
So when we ran into this, it was daytime. It was in the middle of their workday.
Uh-huh. Oh,
So-
yeah.
I wouldn't assume it was nighttime by the time we finished. So we are going.
Oh, no, it's been maybe an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to reappear.
With 3 dead bodies. I was waiting for that realization.
Oh, yeah, no.
Three
We're
dead
not getting
bodies.
these bodies past the office right now.
Oh no.
We just
But
we're gonna get them.
Imagine the solemn, like, silent trek back up, retracing their points, passing where Bodhi had first reappeared. Oh wait, no, that was the other cavern.
That was the other cave.
Okay, forget that. But still, the silent trek
Yep.
of them back. 3 dead friends.
Yeah, we're gonna get to. At least I know for Contagious, it's gonna be a slow walk, but just
Oh yeah.
keeping level, making sure not to trip on anything. My goal right now is just to get them to the office, so that we have them all in a central place, and then figure out what the fuck we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And then, with you guys, when you guys broke the door down to go into the office, I'm trying to find it in my notes. Did you guys do anything to repair that or close it off or anything?
We barricaded it with the desk. Me and
Barricaded.
Bodhi did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But if anyone were to pay close enough attention, they'd see that it was broken into.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
We
Okay.
didn't really hide it. I'm sure most of the people working there saw us kick the door down, so.
I didn't cast mending. I thought I cast mending on something too. Maybe not.
Was it?
I can't
there?
remember.
I'm going through
Oh,
my
I
notes
think
real
you
quick.
did mend the lock.
I mended something in that room. I'm not sure what.
I
Okay,
think I
trying to
remember you
find it in
mending
my
the
notes.
lock, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember if you had or not. So.
I could rewatch the VOD really quick.
Well, we can just say that
I'm
you
pretty sure I did.
Because that sounds familiar, but I just wanted to double check. So we'll just say that you had mended the door. Okay. So how would you guys like to proceed? Yeah, I just pictured when we were getting ready to start, I was like, they're just gonna walk through fucking town with 2 dead bodies, like running towards like the like front of town, like the troop.
I think obviously this would be discussed with the whole party, but Awen's idea would be because she had that conversation with Jarvis, the foreman, and that was actually a pretty nice conversation. She's got some healing in her. I don't know if she would call him to. No, then they would see dead bodies. We'll maybe try to go out to find Jarvis and be like, hey, confronted Maliko. It wasn't good. Send all your workers home for the day or next few days. Just to cover that. But I don't have anything beyond that.
I would recommend. Have we made? I assume we've made it up to the office at this point. I don't.
well,
Is there?
we can say that you guys, unless you wanted to explore more in the
You
network
straight
down
path.
here. Okay, yeah, then we
Oh,
can say you guys got back to. What was that, Rick?
I want to see what the rats were feeding on.
We can come back. I don't know if that's a smart idea to do it now.
Why
Contagious
not, man?
would recommend.
I got 0 spell slots. What could go wrong? Let's go.
Just holding 2 bodies on his shoulders, looking down at Rick. Just. The fuck am I supposed to do?
Well, you can't hold his beer, so there's that.
Do we encounter that old guy
He's gone.
at all? He's just gone.
Yeah, I figured he bolted.
I'm hoping he'll be at the with the troop, but I'm not
But
holding my breath.
if we're back up and we're discussing plans at this point, I would recommend someone stay here in the office with the bodies. But maybe we talk to... One of us goes back to the swinging sword and talk to Kalisa, see what she thinks. Normally I'd say get the authorities to come down here, look at this, and see all the cult stuff, but who knows who's part of what. She might have a better idea of who to talk to, what to do.
I would think that there are major players in town that are part of it. I'm very eager to try to reunite Bodhi with his troop and the matriarchs. I'm not hopeful they'll be able to do anything. I truly hope they do. They can. But at the very least, I think that's where he should end up. I don't know about Jen or Septhus. And at this point, you can see, like, her eyes are glassy and she's fighting tears.
Right now, one step at a time. Figure out how to get out of here without being public enemy number one.
And that's
But if
probably where
what
she
you
would
wanna
say.
do,
I think that's where she would say, let me talk to Jarvis. And at least clear the place, hopefully.
Rick, would you like to talk to Kalisa? I can stay here, hold down the fort, as it were.
If I talk to Kalisa, my mind might be on other things.
Might take a few hours.
Are you saying you need
No,
supervision?
No, Rick would say, he wants to reignite Bodhi.
Yeah.
With her elders.
There was someone, just for like record, at the swinging sword who was giving us weird vibes. It wasn't Kalisa.
No, it was the bartender.
Gilida.
Yeah. Kalida. Or Gilida.
Relita,
Yeah.
yeah.
Rick's just gonna say to you guys, I don't trust anyone in town. I trust no one. The only person I trusted was Jen, and she's dead.
I mean, that's probably the smart move. If, when the immediate situation is over, if you want to, if the goal is to reunite Bodhi with them, I'm fully down to help with that. But we need to figure out the immediate ramifications of what's going on before we can start that journey. Or else we just leave town looking like a bunch of murderers.
I'm torn because I feel like I don't know how, but I know that we've only got so much before there's nothing we can do. So much time.
I know I rolled for this. Contagious had like a slight idea that we're past the limit for the first,
For Revivify.
like for like the whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so Contagious at this point just be like, we're already past the easiest means of achieving this at this point. Taking one day to sort things out here isn't going to push us too far into our next time limit, if you will. It's already going to be a long shot at this point, but I am willing to try it if that's what you want.
She looks like she's seriously mulling this over and probably coming to the conclusion that Contagious would know more about this than her. And she'll kind of just nod her head and be like, okay, what's our next move?
Well, I know you said you don't trust anybody here, Rick, but I think we need to figure out who we trust the most. 'Cause we need someone to give us a next step, because I sure as hell don't know what it is.
Well, those young kids in the stoneworks didn't even want to talk to me.
What about your date? at what was it? Sundown? Who was it? Who was it? What's his face?
God damn it. Oh, I forgot about this. Yeah. Frank? Is it Frank? Yeah.
I was thinking.
Yeah, Frank.
I feel like we've heard group names that have been thrown around. Something about the Mirror Bar. Frank mentioned a group.
Yeah, that was the finger to the mouth. Shush, 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 shush. Yeah. And on the map, yeah, on the map, it's right over here. I love that it started with him like teasing, like thinking you were hitting on him, and just kind of escalated and became canon from there. I love it. Nope. There was called. I love it.
Don't mind them. God. I mean, yeah.
Don't mind. I had a conversation earlier with Jarvis. I don't know if any of you would want to join, but I would feel good talking with him.
Rick, that's up to you if you want to go or not. I'll stay here. And if you want, general information on where to go next. If there's
You care to join?
Yeah, I'll join.
Okay.
so I'll stay here while you guys talk to them. But did you...
I don't think I don't think any of us have Presto, but before we step out, if there was anything to be done about their appearance so it doesn't look like they were the murderers, like I'm sure they're covered in their own blood, but
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything.
Yeah, you guys are covered in blood. You're dirty. Potential singe
Well, at least,
marks.
like,
You know, like it's
try to wipe
y'all
your
are
face off.
y'all are a hot mess. Like you probably look like somebody could sponsor you for a nickel a week and save your life at this point.
Is there any like little bits of like I don't know, like a water basin or anything in her office that they could use to clean up a bit?
You know what? We'll roll and see if there is or not. There is not.
Okay.
Does she
There's-
have like a cloak or something of that office that I could take to cover up?
No. There's the only cloaks that were anywhere in this vicinity were the ones down below. There is a water skin over on like on one of the tables in the room on her desk. You guys have water skins. You have an extra water skin from Contagious, and then another one from Bodhi, should you feel so inclined. And then, of course, the robes that you could use if you wanted to dampen those and kind of wipe yourselves off.
Yeah, so it'll probably take a second just to basic clean, but we're not going to get everything off of us.
Yeah, just face and hands, but
Yes.
Yeah.
And the desk has been moved. The door is closed, but the desk is no longer barricading the door.
oh, that's
Got it.
fucked up.
Not really surprising.
The old man had to get out against his will.
All right. Contagious, while you're looking over them, it might not hurt to look around in here as well for any evidence,
No,
Or
I'll take
any-
a look.
next steps. All right. With that, she'll step out the door, try to be as nonchalant as possible. Not trying to be the center of attention, but also knowing that that might not be avoidable. And she will try to go straight for Jarvis with as little eyes on her as possible.
Okay. And
Not
Rick,
full on stealthing it.
I was gonna
but-
have you give me either a performance or deception check to see if you're able to carry yourself with confidence and like everything is fine, nothing to see here.
If Friendly didn't just lose friend. That's gonna be hard for Ethan. You said performance or deception?
Yes.
No, they're both the same. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to post a GIF, but it's a sad version of this. Hold on.
I'm gonna say Awen's grief is probably written on her face.
But like I said, a sad version. The fact that they're at a cemetery is ironic, but
Yeah, no, yeah. Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Don't be
Suspicious, don't be
I
suspicious.
freaking love them. Rick, are you accompanying Awen or are you staying with Contagious?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too.
Okay. Rick seems to be completely fine, completely unfazed. Just another day in paradise.
Alright, Mr. Boardman.
And then Contagious, go ahead and give me an investigation check, please.
That's about as good as you're gonna get from me.
You know
Alright.
what? It's good enough. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Okay. So, Awen, you said you're going directly to Jarvis, correct?
Yep.
Okay. You see that he is busy chipping it away at a large slab of stone, chisel and hammer in hand, as he's chipping away, trying to smooth out some of the rough edges of it, stopping every once in a while to wipe the sweat from his brow or catch his breath before going back to tink, 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 tink.
While I'm walking, can I just try to see how many people or look in our direction.
Absolutely. And are you talking specifically about the people in the work area in the stoneworks, or just in
Yeah.
general? Okay. As you start to approach, no one seems to be paying too much attention. Backs are turned. There may be an occasional look up, but none of them seem to be paying much attention at this moment. Jarvis's back is to you as he's chiseling away at this slab. He is currently working by himself.
Having traveled around Bodhi and knowing he can't always hear when Awen approaches, she will take the long way around to get in his field of vision before speaking. Do you have a moment? Sorry to interrupt.
Initially, he looks up slightly annoyed before looking back down at his work, and then that panic double take sets in, and he looks up, recognizing you guys, obviously, and looking at Rick, and then turning his focus to you and looking you up and down. Is everything okay? What's happened? I mean, no disrespect, but you look as though you've seen better days.
I'm sorry to say it, but we did have a confrontation with Maliko. It's very important. And this is the first time she'll have made eye contact with really anyone in a hot minute. I think you guys need to leave for the day. I think you should leave.
What do you mean, a confrontation? He says, once again, wiping his brow and setting his tools down. Kind of placing his hands on his hips. Not in an aggressive way, but like, what the fuck?
Guys, what do we tell him?
I'm sorting through papers right now. I got nothing for you.
There has been a lot of things going on in town. I'm sure you know better than I do as a local. Unfortunately, we had the misfortune of discovering some of it had merit. You can see our state, it wasn't good. And I strongly urge you. I know you were trying to look out for yourself, and everyone is. So I say this out of your safety and not wanting to get anyone else tangled in anything.
He takes a deep breath and looks back at the others who are working and turns back to you. Are our staff in danger? You're being quite vague, and I'm not sure what to make of it. Is Malikos okay? Are our people okay?
I don't mean to be vague. Again, it's for not wanting to endanger anyone else. I trust you to use discretion and be wise about knowing who and who not to maybe tell, but like I said, we had a confrontation with Maliko. She was behind some things. that we were able to put a stop to, but that being said, there is no immediate danger. But this area might come into question soon.
It's
As you're speaking to him, his brow is furrowed and his lips are kind of pressed together in a straight line as he's kind of scanning your face. And you watch that expression soften as your words sink in.
I was gonna say, Awen is not, hiding anything, especially with that 2 deception. He can read all of the sincerity in that she is genuinely like, I'm trying to look out for you, bro. I don't want you in this mess. I've just lost 3 people, like.
Yeah, and it is very evident. And what
I think
really...
especially the conversation that they had prior to this.
Yeah. And you guys have given him no reason to not trust you. And obviously, you know, you guys are aware. He's aware of the whispers of the ongoings in town and everything. And what really drives this home, what kind of sparks that look of understanding is when you say that there, you know, Malikos was involved with some stuff and we've put an end to. And that look of realization melts into shock, and it's coupled with a little bit of sadness as he drops his head and kind of starts rubbing his hands together, biting his lower lip. You can see, without even having to roll insight, you can see his wheels turning. And he looks back up to you, one arm crossed over his chest, elbow of his other arm in that hand as he's kind of rubbing his chin.
Again, I'm not trying to be vague to intentionally keep you in the dark. If there's anything we can clarify, we're staying at the swinging sword. Just think it would be best for all of your co-workers to take the rest of the day off and maybe tomorrow.
Yes, the less people know, the better. If this is all true, then that leads me to believe that there is truth behind some of the other rumors circulating around town. And if Malikos was involved, I mean, the gods know she was not an easy woman, and more of an acquired taste. But I thought she was a good woman deep down. And if she's involved in this, then I don't know who else may be.
and he's still like wishy-washy.
I appreciate your honesty, and truthfully, any information you have would be really helpful. She has like a bittersweet smile that comes to her. We did find Jen.
Is she okay? Where is she?
Yeah,
And she just kind of shakes her head.
You watch him slightly go pale. Malikos?
We didn't. Was it Maliko that slit her throat directly, or was it just one or the other?
Larock.
It was
Larock.
Larock, but Maliko was right there.
Yeah.
She was fully in on it, yeah.
The final blow wasn't her hand, but yes. And I fear. I know. Jen was not the only one. But ask you to keep this in your confidence. I tell you so much because I don't want to leave you in the dark. Knowing that you're the foreman and these are also your workers, and you were forthright with me.
As well as tears begin to well behind his eyes. His jaw is clenched tight. You can see the veins beginning to bulge a bit in his throat and into his lower jaw. And he just silently nods for a moment. I am sorry that you had to endure all of this, and I thank you for seeking me out. I will send our staff home, but I will do so once you leave. And he stops and looks back over everybody else, who still seems to be pretty busy. In fact, both of you go ahead and give me a perception check, please.
Okay.
Okay.
But no.
As Rick is busy looking around to see if there are any wheelbarrows, which there are none of in sight, Rick, Awen, you see that there don't appear to be any eyes on you. The other workers seem to be focused on their tasks at hand. And Jarvis turns to confirm this and turns back to you and says, I will wait until you make your exit to send them home. With what you've just shared with me, the fewer people who know of your involvement, the safer it may be for you and your friends. As he
I
is saying
appreciate
this, he reaches out with his right hand and places it on your shoulder, giving a gentle squeeze. I'm sorry for what you've had to endure.
I am too, but I don't think it was without reason. She'll rest her hand on top of his on her shoulder and just the swinging sword. Anything that could be of help.
If
Thank
I
you.
think of anything, I will seek you out. And then turning to you, Rick, we do not have any wheelbarrows. Our carts are
It was such-
currently either, he was going to say they're either, being fixed or they're at some of the quarries. But he would tell you that there are some places, there's the Safe Journeys, and then there is, what is the name of this other place? Oh my god, what was the name of it? Galkers.
Yeah, one of the places that Zavarius. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where we took the wood, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that
Yeah.
was at
Good
the
old episode 1.
Therlons. What did you? Were you guys called? One of the guys asked something. Let me go back to my notes.
Oh god, yeah, I remember that. The brothers, right?
Yeah.
Blast and Asdan.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that was fun. I need to type my notes up so they're more consolidated, but I like the tangible writing. But he would tell you that you can talk to Thorskin Assman to see about securing a cart if need be.
See, I like physical notes better, but you can't control F physical notes.
Yeah, and it takes a lot longer to write it out. Like in my Friday campaign that I play in, I type all my words, type all my notes up because I can physically keep up with it, and when they're saying stuff that's important quotes, I can get everything. Whereas I'm having to shorthand or scribble, I freaking got Parkinson's, and later I'm I don't know what I was trying to say.
See, I have the opposite problem. I can't type fast, so I would like to have electronic notes, but I can't keep up typing. I need to write it down.
It's one of the few things I'm good at. I actually just won a competition in my class because I got 98 words per minute,
Oh my god.
which was Dude, I spent 3 hours just going at it because I started at like 80, which is good, but I just kept trying until I could beat the high score.
You could
My
do
fingers
better.
hurt by the end of that.
Oh, I believe it. That's a lot of typing to do.
Yeah, I think 98 puts you in the top 0.3% of the world. And I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
like,
impressive.
never gonna do that again, but I'm
But
glad
I
I
did
hit
it.
it once.
I fucking
But I
did
did
it. Yes, you're doing it, Peter.
Yeah, doing
That's
it, Peter.
impressive. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
That was spot on.
It's really good.
I have a friend that does that voice.
Your friend is amazing. I love them. With that, is there anything else that you would like to say to Jarvis? As he says that he would seek you out. Oh my god.
Yo,
You
chat's
guys
blowing
are
up, guys.
wild.
Great.
Huh?
The fucking counts gift, the counts meme.
Oh. Yeah.
And then all the gifts you guys are posting. You guys are wild. I love it.
Oh shit.
So All My Friends Are Dead is actually a book that I used to have. It was really...
When you posted that, I was like, oh shit, I know what that is.
I can't remember all of them except for the one of the horse that just says all my friends are glue.
Oh my god. I need these books for my kids.
Oh, it's not a kid's book.
Oh, okay, just kidding. I need this book for me.
Yeah, you need it.
Alright.
Is there anything else that you would say to Jarvis in this moment?
No, I don't think so.
He will watch as you guys walk away and wait until you are out of sight and turning the corner, and you guys would hear as he calls out to the other workers. Go ahead.
Well, I think we gotta go back into the office and
Yeah.
update.
Yeah, but once you turn the corner, it's less obvious that you guys were right there talking to him.
Okay.
So he's
okay.
waiting until it's less obvious that you guys were there and just had a conversation.
Perfect.
And he would call out and shout to the other workers, basically something along the lines of, "All right, guys, pack it up. We're gonna have the next couple days off. Malikos will be in touch with me and let us know when we should come back." And with that, they would start the process of putting stuff away, and you hear some excitement and some inquisitive, huh?
Are we getting paid sick time? Does this count?
What the fuck is sick time?
I'm sick of this shit. Sick of working all the time. Yeah, so that would start that
Tired of them
process.
cutting my fucking hours.
And then
I just imagine they all just start singing the dwarf song. Hi ho. Hi ho. As they start getting
it's off to home we go. Okay, contagious.
So I would like to say for this specifically, because I know they should not be taking that long, and that what do you got?
Before we left, I guided you.
Oh, okay. I have a good enough roll. Don't worry about it. We're
Okay,
good.
I didn't pay attention.
Because I'm also what I'm gonna say is, I know this is probably the shorter of the two conversations, and that Contagious knows he is not the best at this type of whatever. I'm not trying to specifically find, oh, this piece of paper has Maliko confessing or whatever, or has like can connect to this. I'm more trying to set up for them to take over. So I'm not looking for like specific pieces of paper, but just trying to find anything that someone could go through to find information on this. Not trying to find the information myself.
Okay, very, very cool.
Hey, just have confidence.
All right. So I will give you the option on this one. I can drag
Okay.
you down and share with you, and you can decide what to do with that information, or I can share it above the table.
I don't know. It seemed like
Yeah, why not? Let's drag down. That's always fun.
All right, we'll be back, guys. Bye.
Bye.
he needed a fucking
All right, let me mute my stream right quick.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. It's wonderful. Okay. I think what we will do, even though we just came back, we're kind of at the halfway point. So we'll take our quick break here, go pee, refill drinks, stretch your legs a bit, and then we'll pick up with you guys coming back together.
Okie dokie.
All right. See you guys in
Sounds good.
about 5 to 8. Whatever y'all need, we'll be back.
So I forgot to do my homework and figure out what I want to do when we level up. Any suggestions for cool feats for anyone to take? Because I just hit the feats tab on Fantasy Grounds and there's a lot more than I thought.
From like Georgia to help plow things, and yeah, so I'm hoping we don't get snow and it just gets cold. Luckily, I don't have to leave my house often. I do all my work and school from home, but yeah, that's gonna suck. Oh, I know, right? Because like normal humans get +1 to every stat,
Right.
But the alternate humans only get +1 to 2 stats of their choice, and then a feat. And I needed that feat. I couldn't wait till level 4 to get that feat. And for me, it's not even level 4. I'm not even gonna get it. I'd have to wait till level 5 or 6 before I get it. And that's why I have 2 -1s.
But at what cost?
I tripped on a tree. because I'm about to explain it anyway, my rolls were amazing.
They were so
Oh,
good, you
yay.
guys.
I rolled a 4 and a 6.
Oh, that was sarcasm.
Absolutely being facetious, 150%. And then, let me send this player a message one more. Send this player one more message. I swear I can English.
Oh, did you guys see that Hasbro has teamed up their D&D department with the #1 online gambling company in the world to make D&D gambling games because that's how desperate they are for money right now?
That's crazy. I did not see that.
Yeah, they announced it yesterday, and a whole bunch of people came out and were like, "That's disgusting," because it's literally like one of the worst abusers of online gambling. The company they teamed up with, and like they're literally making games to try to, as they put it, get a younger generation involved in gambling. And it's like, wow, you guys are desperate for money.
You hear yourself, right? Like,
Yep. But I think Matt Mercer was one of the first people to come out because Critical Role and all them has been very light with any criticism to D&D because they used to work with them a lot. But when that came out, he was just like, "Yeah, fuck you guys. That's disgusting."
yeah.
Like,
That is unlucky. Okay. So, Contagious, as you are finding out everything about all this stuff in here with your stellar rolls, it wouldn't be too much longer before Rick and Awen. Are you guys returning to the office, or are you guys going elsewhere? Okay.
Awen's returning to the office.
Okay.
I'll follow.
Okay. And you guys would be able to walk right in unless Contagious locked the door after you left.
no.
Can you imagine if somebody else had walked in and you're just chilling there with 3 dead bodies?
Yeah, I mean, if they had been doing anything else, I would have. But I was going on the assumption they were going to be gone for like 2-3 minutes, maybe. You know, since they're walking outside, talking and walking back. So I was kind of, hoping. But,
I thought about having
Okay,
somebody
that-
come, but I was
man,
like,
that would've-
nah.
Oof, man! Thank God for +4 to
"Aw, man."
persuasion. I would have needed that.
Right. These are not the
Oh, man.
droids you're looking for.
Exactly.
What was that, Awen? Sorry.
Nothing. Just, oh man. A coworker's like, oh man, left my lunchbox in the office.
Right? You said you have a 4th body when you guys come back.
Oh shit.
So as you guys return and walk into the office, you see that Contagious has found and laid out some items on the desk.
So kind of like the Always Sunny meme where he's got like all the.
I was just
like,
thinking of
red
that.
shirts.
Yes.
Where he's like looking at the board and he's like conspiracy theory. No, you walk in, Contagious will just kind of turn around and be like, how'd it go?
Good. Jarvis is sending everyone home. I mean, he was shocked, but I trust he'll keep it on the low, and everyone's leaving now.
Okay. Well then, I'll wait a few minutes for them to wrap up before I head out to talk to Kalisa. I did find a few things. I'll kind of point them over to the table. And on the desk, kind of lined up, on the left, there's a stone amulet on like a necklace that is just kind of like this. Yeah. And he's got it face up with the symbol that we'd seen down there that in the room they were in, facing up. Just kind of leave the necklace there. Next to it is a like wax seal kit for like sealing letters of Malikos with like a big M as the symbol for the wax seal. Next to that is some like notes, papers and stuff that are kind of like blueprints or maps or something. Haven't really gone too much into those. What happened?
CJ's dipping out for the evening.
CJ did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye. And those are kind of just laid out, and he'll just be like, I haven't really looked through these, but they seem to have been investigating a lot of different plots of land in the area. And then I'll just point over to the bookcase where there's, on this one shelf, there's a bunch of like rocks and like vials with different like dirt samples and stuff. That's all I've been able to find. Haven't really gone too much into it. If I thought Maliko was a normal person, I don't think any of this would be too odd, but knowing what we know, they may have been looking for something. I'm not sure. But if you guys want to look more into these while I step out.
You said you're going to talk to Kalisa?
Kalisa, just see if she... Honestly, she's the only person I trust at this point, seeing as she led us to try to help these people. She might know the right people to talk to avoid stumbling into more culty situations.
Be careful.
Of course.
She'll guide him. I don't know what that'll do, but that's literally the only thing she can do.
I've got 1 minute. Run! No.
Yeah.
And I will hang back for about 10 minutes before leaving to kind of let the stonework clear out before I head over to the swinging sword.
Okay. Give me just a second. Sorry, I'm responding to player message from the group.
All good.
Okay, so you said you're doing what before heading to the swinging sword?
I'm gonna hang back for about 10 minutes to let the...
Okay.
You said the amulet had the symbol that was on the slabs of stones.
I believe so, right? It was that symbol that we had found down in that like ritual chamber. I believe that was what was on it.
And that's the one that Awen recognized?
No, you, yes, that's the one Awen recognized, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because got to a point where like I'm not really able to do anything with it. Grinding stuff, but I get so much of the small shit. It's like kind of easy to send it to somebody.
Give me an Arcana check, please, Awen.
Yeah.
18, beautiful. Oh, thank you, CJ. I don't. Oh, guys, because I don't know if they can hear me from your setup or not. Okay, let me message them really quick. They're so sweet. Sorry. So last session, they had paid, and I was like, I refunded it. Like, you made 2 rolls, and it was just to see if you died or not, and you died. So when I refunded it, the little section where you can put the comment, I put funeral costs, and they just noticed it. So I think it's just funny to do stuff like that. With an 18, as you take this pendant into your hand, and the stone of this is unfinished. It's not a pendant in the sense where it's been smoothed out and polished or anything like that. This is a raw rock. and there is a flat side to it, still not smoother or finished, but flat enough. And that is the side where this sigil or symbol is carved into it. And as you pick this up and take a moment to kind of tap into it to see if there's anything about this that makes it unique or of interest outside of the symbol on it. There is a warmth that slowly begins to radiate in your palm as you hold it. And there's a flash in your mind, and as you blink your eyes back open, there's a ripple that you see. It's not physically there, but you see it almost as if you're, like in Pocahontas, where Grandmother Willow is talking about how everything has a life in it, or it's kind of like that. And you watch as there's almost a ripple or a tremor that stems from this pendant in your hand and courses down your arm to your elbow. And there is a little bing moment that there is definitely something magical, some kind of archonic energy in this pendant. You don't know what it is. You would need to identify it either with the spell or by spending some time with it during a rest to figure out specifically what it is. But there are magical properties to it.
Awen will kind of turn it over in her hand. Do you guys recognize this at all? Other than when we saw it, what was that? Was that yesterday?
Which part? The one in the Necromancer's cave?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was yesterday. That was last night.
Yesterday.
Uh-huh. Because there we saw 4 symbols, right? And this was one of those 4 symbols.
Correct.
And then only this symbol is what appeared below, with the Maliko in them.
Correct. And this
if I remember correctly, I did not recognize. Like I had like a faint recognition of one of the symbols, but I don't think it was this one.
No, it was not this one. Awen was the only one who recognized this one, and there were flashbacks to your event.
Yeah.
And then the symbol that you recognize, the symbol that Rick recognized, and the symbol that Bodhi recognized. Each of you recognized one of the symbols on the sigil of the elemental eye. But this was the one that Awen recognized.
You don't recognize this beyond what we saw yesterday?
No.
No.
I think I do. I don't understand the circumstances, but I do recognize it. Find it odd of its occurrence here. Okay. This amulet, or this pendant. I don't know, I felt something when I held it. And she'll set it back on the desk and start looking at the other stuff.
With the other documents, and Rick, are you doing anything? Are you looking at any of this stuff as well, or are you just kind of watching and checking out what it is that Awen's doing?
I'm just watching.
Okay.
Just watching.
Beautiful. Awen, go ahead and give me an insight check, please.
It's very simple.
Or straight intelligence, your choice.
I can see.
Not bad.
Okay, well, that'll do.
But the nice thing about it
With a 16, let me go back to my notes. So looking specifically first at the document that Contagious had said seemed to be some kind of a blueprint or map or something of the sorts. As you take a moment to kind of study this and check it out, it becomes quite obvious to you. It almost gives you a PTSD moment as you turn it right side up and your finger trails along the pathways. That this is a blueprint or a map of the tunnel system and the rooms that you had just been in. So I will put. We'll mark that as blueprints of. We'll say TMS right now. Above the table, it was the Tomb of Moving Stones. But the excuse me, other documents, other papers that are there, appear to be like notes. Essentially, like they're land surveyors documents, information about different geological formations, where the quarries are, where there are different deposits of different stones or minerals, things of that sort. And let me see. Go ahead and give me a quick investigation as you're studying this, please.
So many rolls.
I should have had Contagious do this as well, so I apologize for
It's fine. I have a -1 to that, so it wouldn't have been great.
Okay.
Yeah, Awen's doing much better than I ever would have, so we're gonna keep this train going.
You know what? It's the alley-oop. You set her up for success. As you are looking this over, you notice that in the lower right-hand corner, and it's very, very faint, but it catches your eye, and as you kind of pay more attention, you see at the very bottom right, in a very light ink, is the same sigil, with a scribbled signature, or the initials of Maliko, right next to it.
Sorry, just writing it down.
No need to apologize, you're quite alright.
She'll kind of hold it closer to her face and be like, here it is again. And she'll put it down on the table and point out the sigil with the signature. Having seen that, can Ewan look around the room and try to find anything else with this sigil on it, or any of the other sigils?
Absolutely, go ahead and give me an investigation.
Nice.
That's 23. Okay. As you take some time to really start delving into the contents of this room,
We'll look at the bookcase, in the drawers,
beautiful.
all the good stuff.
The drawer of the desk has been emptied out. That is all the papers and the pendant that Contagious had found. I had a brain fart out of your name for a second. I almost said Cathetha, and I was like, that is not even remotely close. Like, I think I might have had a stroke. I'm sorry. But as you begin to scour the bookcase and pull out some of the tomes and flip through the pages, let me bring this up real quick. You find that one of these books, and it's very, very almost unnoticeable, but tucked away between some of the larger tomes, you almost overlook it. There's a very thin, very, very thin book is a very loose term, and on the spine you see at the very bottom, there's just very, very small, the same sigil. As you pull this out, let me see what languages you speak to see if you know this. You do
Would you
not.
say, when you say book is a flexible term, is it more like a leaflet or like a pamphlet?
It's between like a pamphlet, like between a leaflet and a book. So like looking at like most of the books on here are gonna be, you know, about 3/4 of an inch minimum in width, and I'm trying to see what I've got. You know, so like the smallest books there is like this size. Most of the tomes are this
Gotcha.
size. Whereas what you find is more like this in comparison, a little bit smaller.
Okay.
Ultimately, for inventory purposes, we're going to call it a journal.
Okay.
But you do not recognize the language. The handwriting in it, matches some of the handwriting on the other documentations. With your 16 insight from earlier as you're investigating the room, it's a safe assumption that this was most likely Maliko's, based on where you found it, whose office you're in, and the other papers and everything in her office. And forgive me, I'm just checking everybody's character sheets to see if anybody recognizes this language. You do not. And let's see if you do. You do not. Okay. You see this sigil as you kind of flip through the pages a number of times. And there are other symbols, similar in style, but not familiar to you. But you're not sure what what everything in here says.
Can I pull out, because I was carrying the Orioth's journal, the mage of the Necromancer's cave where we saw those symbols. Can I quickly put that side by side and
Absolutely.
specifically with those symbols that I didn't recognize, just to see if they're talking about the same thing?
My son's kind of the same way with his voice.
And let me just go back and double check because I'm having brain farts. Do you guys remember what language that one was in?
I think the journal was something that me and Zavarius could read, so I would venture to
was-
say Elvish.
Yeah, I think it was Elvish.
Okay, that's what it was. There are some similarities. There are some common symbols. The language is very different. I
Right.
think what would stand out the most as them being similar, again, there are some of the same symbols and things like that. But as you delve deeper into each of these journals, the writing becomes more frantic, more frenzied in a lot of places.
Even in Maliko's? Okay.
Any other questions?
Probably around the time she's looking into this book is when I'd start heading out.
Okay, so you're
Um,
heading out.
I'll meet you at this swinging sword once we figure.
I was
Can't
saying,
find
like, if
him.
you guys probably just want to stay here till I come back and I can figure out what we're gonna do from there based on what she tells us.
Okay. That sounds good.
I don't want to leave the bodies unsupervised and the entrance unsupervised for now.
I agree.
I'll just kind of take a peek out before fully leaving to see if they're still kind of gathering or if they're mostly heading out.
Okay. So at this point, they've kind of filtered out. You would see that Jarvis is still there, kind of wrapping things up and putting stuff away, getting ready to end things for himself. And you are heading to the Swinging Sword?
Yeah, before I fully head out, because I know I don't have the methods to, like, actually clean, so I'm just gonna grab some of the loose dirt and just start kind of patting it on any spots on my clothing that had blood on it, just to make it look dirty instead of bloody.
Okay.
Just try to cover that up a bit.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
And then, yeah, I'll head over to the Swinging Sword, which isn't far from here, right? Like,
No.
right down the street. Yeah.
As you enter the Swinging Sword, the first familiar face that you see is Galita, who is behind the desk. And without looking up and over at you, she's kind of fidgeting with stuff behind the counter. Welcome to the Swinging Sword. And as she looks with that hospitality smile plastered on her face, it immediately drops with a quick look of what the hell? Are you okay? What happened to you?
Oh, just line of business we're in. Sometimes you get a little beat up, but I'm fine. Nothing to worry about.
That's interesting. Is everything okay?
Yeah, and he is very much trying to put on the totally fine, nothing to worry about. He's, got a smile on his face. Definitely trying to not alert anything.
Performance or deception, please.
I don't know. This might be a stretch, but if Awen guided him at the very last minute, would
Nah, because guidance is like 6
it
seconds.
takes longer than a minute to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
That's
it's fine.
a shot.
We are now in the realm of things I'm decent at.
Interesting.
Even with a lower roll, still get a little bit better. So.
Let's see. She narrows her eyes at you momentarily and then just kind of nods. I see. Well, I'd hate to see what the others looked like. And she kind of it's very obvious to you. You know when people are being polite.
Yeah.
It's very obvious that this is very much a kind of laugh. Where are your friends?
They're wrapping some stuff up. I was actually just here to see, is Kalisa in? We wanted to ask her a few questions.
Yes, last I saw she was behind the bar, cleaning up and setting up for the evening. She kind of side-eyes you for a moment as she begins to look around the corner, and makes a comment, kind of playfully. Yes, she's still back there. Did you,
Why is Cat getting all the bitches?
draw... Did you draw some unwanted attention?
Oh, no, we just, she asked us to check out some things in town. We saved the, Jarrett's boy the other day.
Oh, yes, I'd heard.
I wonder if we're experiencing a cat right now.
I was just picturing him being beaten up by his cat. Are you okay there?
I am.
Oh, I guess he unplugged. Welcome back.
There we go. Discord likes to just crash out on me sometimes.
We thought your cat was getting the best of you.
Because like on my end, the only way I know something's happening is someone says something. So I was like, "What's going on? Everything's fine." Then you guys like, "Is he being beat?" I'm like, "Oh, yep, Discord crash. Got it.
Okay.
Let's go." Because it doesn't give me any sign that anything's wrong on
Oh,
my
that's
end, but
frustrating.
just does that once in a while.
That's frustrating.
But yeah, I'm just gonna, still trying to just play it, not giving much information. Just like, yeah, we just want to keep her updated on everything going on. So I'm just gonna head back, and I'm just gonna kind of slowly make my way around her, head back towards the bar.
Okay. And you can feel her eyes watching you as you walk away and round the corner back to the dining area and bar area. And you do see Kalisa behind the bar, straightening bottles and straightening out glasses and tankards and things of the sort. Very oblivious to you coming in initially.
Yeah, I'll just kind of make my way in front of her, not trying to like startle her or anything.
Okay.
Just try to get her attention.
By the gods, what happened to you? Her eyes go wide. Where are the others? Are they okay? Are you okay?
Everything's fine for now. Why don't we talk somewhere a little bit more private? Is that okay?
Yes, absolutely. We can. There's a room upstairs. And she would come around from behind the counter, drying her hands on an apron that she has fashioned around her waist, and swiftly, but trying to play it off casually, will start leading the way back through the lobby and up the stairs. As she gets to the base of the stairs, she would turn to Galita. Galita, keep an eye on things for a moment, please.
No, not really.
And Galita will kind of narrow her eyes a bit as the corners of
it's
her
like
mouth
this
start to
very
rise a
interesting
bit
period.
and nods her head.
I don't
Yes,
need to swap
Kalisa.
out a whole bunch of shit.
And you once again feel her eyes kind of burning into you as you presumably
Yeah,
follow.
I'm kind of still just meaning it with that almost like I know I'm bullshitting, but I'm not gonna drop the facade kind of smile. Yeah, like I know you can tell to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Let us do this, please. Not right now.
And she will lead you upstairs. Towards the end of the hall, so on the hall there's doors on either side, and when the hall comes to an end, there's one door at the end of the hallway that is essentially, it would be where the wall is perpendicular to where your guys' room is, and there's one single room at the end of that hall. She would open the door and kind of stand aside and wait for you to enter.
Okay, then I'll just walk in and kind of take a glance in the room, wait for her to come in.
She will quickly step in behind you, closing and locking the door.
Yeah, it'd be good.
She,
I need to get to exalted.
well, what you see when you walk in the room, it's a very large room. It's at least double the size of the rooms that you guys are staying in, and it's almost split. So to the right side when you enter, there's a bed, nightstand, there's a chest at the foot of the bed, a lantern atop of the nightstand. There's a little wardrobe on the opposite side of where the nightstand is, the wall closest to the door. On the left side, there is a, not small, but a little bit bigger than your average writing desk with a plush chair. And there are two half bookcases on either side, knickknacks, bobs, things like that. On the writing desk, there is a tome, a book, There is an inkwell with a quill, some blank parchments pushed to the back, and then there are windows on either side. There's one window that's closer to the bed, and one window that's closer over to the little office area. A large crimson rug is on the middle of the floor between the two sides. And outside of curtains and the furnishings, the walls of this room are bare. She would kind of look around for a moment and point to the chair as she takes a seat herself on the chest at the foot of the bed. I'm sorry that I don't have a lot of company, so I don't really have the accommodations for multiple bodies in here, but you can make yourself comfortable. And then without missing a beat, in the same breath, what's going on? Are you okay?
Yeah, so like as soon as she's saying that, Kitay just, as soon as the door drops and she walks in and starts talking, the facade just drops. And he like smile's gone, shoulders kind of slug back a bit, and he's just gonna lean up against the wall a little bit, still facing her. Yeah, I'm sorry for coming in so suddenly. We've had a hell of a day, is one way to put it, and you're one of the only people I hope I can trust, seeing as you somewhat set us on this path. And he is just going to lay out, because I think we already talked to her about the, did we ever talk to her about the necromancer?
Nope, you guys went from the necromancers to gens to Malikos to the tunnel system.
He is just going to lay out everything. I've thought it through. I don't think there's anything I'm really keeping from her. He's kind of taking a Hail Mary here.
Okay.
Explaining the necromancer's cave, Bodhi, because she has not met him, coming to help, them going to Jen, then to Maliko, the whole thing, the ritual, how they killed Jen, the people we've lost. Not going into like crazy details of like, oh, and then there was this writing, and there was just like the the main beats of everything that's happened, and explain where the other two are with the bodies in the office right now, and that the Stoneworks has gone home for the day, and just kind of lay everything out in as general terms as possible.
Okay. And there is a large array, a blend of visible reactions from her, the occasional audible gasp, and a lot of concern and shock, anger, sadness. It is a cacophony of emotions that is displayed on her face and in her body language as you share and recount the details of the events over the last day or two since you had last seen her.
One thing I would like to say before everything, about like halfway into the story, because I assume this is going to probably take me like 2 or 3 minutes, if not longer, to go through everything.
Yeah.
He's trying to keep it succinct, but like getting all the detail. Like halfway through the story, before we get to probably around the time when he's talking about, we came back, we checked on Jen, we went to talk to Maliko. Before we get into the going underground, Contagious, because I'm still leaning very close to the door, is going to kind of just suddenly, without warning, lean over, open the door, and check the hallway to see if anybody's out there.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, I know she's eavesdropping.
Oh, I'm paranoid. I don't know if she's just a gossip or if she's got... I do not trust that bitch. So...
I literally have that in all caps.
I think at this point, I think she's just a gossip who needs to keep her face, but who knows? So I'm just going to quickly check to make sure no one's eavesdropping.
Okay.
Oh no, she said some weird comment.
Do you remember what the comment was?
I have it written down.
Because there was a little nod to that.
There was an Easter egg in there?
Today, in this session, there was an Easter egg to that, a little throwback, if you will.
Oh shit. Hold up. Pause.
And then
Come on, it's a multiplayer game, Mom.
while she's doing that, go ahead and give me a perception check as you are by the door and as you open the door to peek out.
Wow, consistent.
Yeah, you were very consistent. So what I will tell you is that as you've stood by the door, you haven't heard anything, no movement or anything of the sort. And as you open the door quickly and peer out, you are met with an empty hall.
Okay. And just as quickly come back in.
Yeah, it's 30.
Just be like, apologies, just a little paranoid.
Understandable, she says.
And then finish the story from there.
And by the time you're done relaying all of this information to her, her head is hung in her hands. She's doubled over, elbows on her knees, palms up, cradling her head.
Like, I have half a brain.
And she pauses for a moment. And I'm gonna give Awen a minute to see if she can find it.
I feel like Awen just
Well,
found
I-
something.
Well, I found something. This wasn't the quote, but I do have a patch of ink above her elbow, bottom of a triangle question mark.
What?
What? It was something along the lines of like, congrats. Hold on, let me see if it's still here.
What session was that in?
That
I don't
was one
remember.
of the earlier sessions. Let's see. And worst case,
It was.
I can tell you.
Was it before or after seeing Jen for the first time?
I think that was before.
I think it was before. It was after the bear.
I think that was the meal we had after saving the kid.
Mm-hmm.
So probably session 4.
Major cervix.
Well, Contagious doesn't know any of that.
Yeah.
It was session 4 because that was the same session where you had been staring out the window.
What do you mean? I wrote it down.
Do you want me to just tell you?
What is this?
I would love that.
What was that, Rick?
No, nothing.
She had given a warning, essentially, that sometimes your heroic actions can put a target on your back or draw unwanted attention. And what did she ask Contagious before he left to the bar to grab Kalisa?
This
I don't
bitch.
remember.
She just asked him, did you draw some unwanted attention?
Oh.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's still
So,
moving,
as you complete this relaying of information, Kalisa sitting there with her head in her hands, and as she raises her head from her hands, her face is red, her jaw is clenched. There are just a couple tears that begin to trickle down from her eye, and she lowers her hands, clenched in fists. Thank you for this information. I had suspicions about Malikos, but I did not think that they stemmed that deep. I'm so sorry about Jen. She was an incredibly sweet girl. She didn't deserve that. She was one of the few who believed that there was something else going on, rather than shrugging it off or chalking it up to some bullshit.
If it wasn't for her, we would have never found this. But now, as I'm sure you can understand, we're a bit paranoid with what to do next. I know we did the right thing, but if the wrong people were to get their hands on this first, I'm sure the story could be turned a completely different way.
Yes.
You're one of the few people I trust. What do we do next?
And you had told her about the sigils and the signs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She would ask you, getting up and quickly walking over to the desk and grabbing a piece of blank parchment and pulling forward the inkwell. Can you draw those signs for me, please?
Sure. They're pretty rudimentary, right? It should be pretty easy to draw.
Yeah.
That sigil in particular.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of give a example of that one. If I'm right, that's the one that kind of has like the triangle that crisscrosses
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Yeah,
It looks like this.
a triangle with whiskers. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Oh no, that one. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Okay, we're gonna roll
How many
and
symbols?
see how much she knows. There were 4 in total. Oh,
I have them all drawn as well, somewhere.
And
There
they
we go.
are in the notes and collabs. Ooh, very solid. I'm gonna go ahead and actually pin that in our note and collab channel.
I don't know why I was thinking of the one on the far right, but yeah, it makes much more sense that we're talking about the second one.
The butt crack.
Yeah.
No, I like the one that looks like a shark.
I think they're all kind
More
of fun,
polished
like
bark.
how simple they are. I love them. She did not roll well.
Fuck.
I feel like I've seen this before, but I can't. I'm so angry and shocked with what you've shared with me. I can't seem to think clearly.
Yeah, I understand that reaction. We weren't exactly expecting this much to happen in one day. Everything kind of just fell apart quickly.
It sounds like it.
Is there an authority here to go to that you would trust? I mean, we have to let someone know, but I don't want to get ourselves screwed over by telling the wrong person.
I don't know who can be trusted anymore. Let me take the rest of today and part of tomorrow to see what I can find out, see if I can figure out who can and cannot be trusted. I won't speak of this directly to anybody until I have a better grasp on who can actually be considered an ally. But perhaps there are whispers, especially if Malika was involved and she's disappeared. I'm sure that there will be whispers that will at least help us rule out who not to trust.
Can I make an insight check on Galita, the one downstairs? I think that was her name.
Absolutely.
Because, like, I know some are susses, but like I said, Contagious face value probably would have taken it as a gossip, not knowing much, but I want to see if he's capable of
Absolutely.
sussing anything out.
I also have a question on that note. This might be a stretch, but having seen this symbol now quite a few times, would it strike Awen's memory that looks like it could be the tip of Galita's tattoo? And if so, could it have been something that she told Contagious to keep an eye out for?
I think at this point telling him to keep an eye out for it would be a little bit of a stretch. But as say that you and Rick are kind of talking about, how is it going? You think he'd met up with Lisa? What about Galita? If you guys are having a little kiki or whatever, go ahead and give me a history check, please. And then I'll come back to your insight in just a minute. It's a very, very solid roll.
Nice.
That is a very, very good roll. What I will say, while you don't have any tattoos or markings that were willingly inked into your body, it's not something that you're unfamiliar with. You're very familiar with tattoos and the aesthetics and those things behind them a lot of times. And with the placement of where it was, because I believe I'd said it was like right above her elbow, right? That you'd see.
Yeah, it was like peeking out. I
Yeah.
couldn't see the whole thing.
And seeing the tip of it, and you're an intelligent person. You're pretty
Elbow
smart.
hurty.
There is the similarity because it was the point of a triangle, but you know more often than not when there are tattoos placed on the arms and stuff, they're usually placed right side up.
Right.
So with how you have seen this symbol, this design, this sigil displayed, it would not really make sense for that to be the tip of that particular one.
Sounds good.
So I'll hold off.
Let me double check something on your
We
character
should open.
sheet.
Let me have one. Yeah.
With a 19 on history, I will say that you do know that there are other symbols that you've seen as well that are triangular and design.
What an odd thing to say.
With a 19, yeah, it's vague, but hopefully enough for you to kind of work with.
Okay. I fear I, the player, am not intelligent enough for this.
Then we will just
Awesome.
leave it at that.
Dragon on the ring.
God, this entire campaign is just a testament to my ability to bite my tongue. Trying to play a character who would not know anything.
Yes.
Oh,
I hope you're getting what I'm putting down a little. At least one of you.
You see, it's not cheating if you as a player are reminding me as a player of something I already know.
only thing I'll say is only one of those symbols is an upside down triangle.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Contagious with your 18 insight. The odd interaction that you had with Galita upon entering the lobby and then exiting to head upstairs kind of brought back like little clips of memories, and you recall the
Of her tattoo? I'm sorry.
comments that she had made. I mean, if he wants to roll a history on that, he can. It's a little meta, but
I'm just
I'll
being
allow
I
it.
don't think the tattoo got pointed out to me though, so I don't even.
I
know to look
don't
for
think it did either. I'm just being
No.
goofy.
Good call. Good call. But the comment, the sort of odd comment that she'd made about unwanted attention and targets on your backs comes to mind, and the constant feeling, and I believe Awen and Zavarius had pointed it out that same evening, that she was watching all of you intensely and trying to play it off like she wasn't. A lot of the looking and watching from the corner of her eyes. And there was just something so odd, almost coy, in the way she had asked if you and your friends had drawn unwanted attention today.
You know.
There's something, you know what?
Who, me?
Oh yeah, I thought you said you know. Like
I
my
said,
head-
what do you know?
What do you know?
Oh,
What
okay.
did not come through?
Oh yeah, I thought she
Oh.
said you know, and I was like, what? And then like my headset like lagged out, and I'm like, am I just tripping? It is all very odd, almost unsettling. as this moment of realization that there may be more than her just being a gossip. As you recall your interaction when you first came back to the inn today, there was almost a sense of enjoyment in seeing your state and wondering what had taken place. It's kind of sus at best right now. I mean, she is definitely a gossip as well, but it's more than just that.
I'm gonna kind of relay that feeling to Kalisa. Just be like, I don't know if it's anything, but how much do you know about your employee down there? How long has she been here?
She's been here for quite some time. At least 5 years, I think. Potentially a little bit longer than that. She's a little odd at times, sort of socially awkward, but she's a good employee, very diligent and attentive in her duties. One of the best staff that I've had for quite some time. I've never had cause to doubt or question her.
Okay.
Has something happened?
No, just I could just be paranoid. I don't know. Just an odd feeling from her. I guess that worst case scenario, I would just obviously not say anything to her, even if it's just keep it from gossiping ears.
Absolutely.
Oh God, I'm dead.
Go ahead and give me a perception check, please.
Yeah, let's keep with the wisdom and the charisma checks. I'm liking this. This is going good for me.
18. Meets it, beats it, I guess, right? As this conversation is taking place, you hear one of the two doors outside of the room on the right-hand side open. You hear the turning of the handle as you had been keeping an ear out, and then quickly close
It's 10.
as footsteps slink away down the hall.
So we heard it was the door to here or door to a different room.
So it was one of the doors. So coming down the hallway coming upstairs and coming down the hallway, there are doors on either side, and then at the end of the hall is this room. So if you're looking at the door on the right, just outside of this room. So whatever bedroom is or hotel room essentially is there. That door just opened and closed, and you hear footsteps walking away.
When I hear the door, can I quickly just slightly open the door and take a look down the hallway?
Absolutely. Are you trying to be quiet about it?
Yeah, not trying to like be super sneaky, but not, kind of midway, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth check, please. Actually, no, because you're in the double armor. Give me a sleight of hand, please.
Not bad.
Let's see what she hears. She does not. As you peer out through this crack in the door, after quietly pulling it open a bit, you see the figure of Galita walking down the hallway away from the rooms. Armful of bedding and what appears to be linens and clothing of sorts. Quickly making her way downtown.
Walking fast?
Yes.
Kind of just note that and close the door again.
Okay.
I guess at this point I'll leave you to think. If you don't mind, I'm gonna freshen up a little bit before heading back to my friends.
Absolutely. Your friends and Jen, we can take them to the All-Face Shrine and have them given last rites if they would like. I don't know how far they are from home. Jen, we will lay to rest here. But we have people at the All-Face Shrine who can help with that. And help
I
guide
appreciate
them
that.
over.
I'll talk with my group. I think there was at least one of them that had a group nearby we were going to attempt to find when this is all done, but the other two for sure. And I'll just kind of make my way out. We still have rooms here, right? Because she's just like giving us.
Yeah, your
I'm not
room
gonna-
is taken care of.
I'm not gonna take too long, but I'm just gonna go into whatever place they have here to just kind of just wash off my face and wash the armor off just a little bit to make it a little less
A little less
shocking to
sus.
everyone who sees me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and don't forget that your room was 3 doors down.
Yep. Oh god.
And before you depart, she would remind you that, or tell you that she would send word or find you guys if she, like, as soon as she has information on anything or gets a better assessment on who can or cannot be trusted.
I would just let her know if we're not here at her inn, we're gonna be in Maliko's place until we figure out what to do with everything.
And then she would exit. And she is going to go and start listening to people's.
Sounds good.
Is there anything, Awen and Rick, that you guys would be doing outside of the investigation and studying of things in Maliko's office while Contagious was speaking with Lisa?
I mean, I think if she has the time, she would. Oh my god, okay, pause. Because I knew that I'd heard. I don't know why. Okay. My train of thought was I was trying to think of all the different names that we've heard of all these different groups, and Mirabar was popping in my head. And I have it written down.
Oh, the
Mirabar.
caravan?
Yeah, the caravan. I don't know why that popped in my head.
Right. I think
But
that
it was
is-
bugging me.
Go ahead.
It was bugging me that I couldn't find it.
Point of inspiration, because I completely dropped the ball in that.
Anyways,
Yeah, I forgot
just
you
glad I
guys had
found
already
that.
heard about that. Yes.
it was bugging me. I was like, no, why are these words ringing in my head? If given the time, Aben will go through, will organizedly ransack the place.
Okay.
She will look at every shelf. I mean, if she's got nothing better to do, she can't sit alone with her thoughts. I can tell you that much.
Understandable. Yeah, and I forgot you guys had heard about the caravan already. For some reason, I missed that in my notes and didn't think that had come up already. So thank you for catching that.
So
How
what
much
was the
time-
caravan?
Good.
What was the connection there? I'm drawing a blank.
So, caravan coming from north, collecting precious things plus information to Red Larch and Waterdeep, disappeared without a trace. And that was information from Kalisa.
Right, I forgot.
I think we also
Oh,
got a
shit.
vibe about the
catch.
group, but I can't remember what it was.
Also got
Yeah,
a
that
what?
was
They
early.
were like traders, like, yes, of like precious things, but also like information and dealings other than just typical commerce,
Mhm.
if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes, you are. And they were destined to arrive and have not yet, as far as everyone is aware.
Huh. We found some of
That was
their
one of the
what did we find?
disappearances.
Mirror bar delegate.
Trade bars.
Yeah, we found their whatever the frick.
Interesting.
Theirs were that caravan going missing or never arriving was one of the disappearances, along with the Jarrett boy, and then all of the other rumors
Right.
and
Yes.
happenings.
Yes. Good catch on that, and I apologize for dropping that.
No, you're good. I thought I was crazy.
We're all done.
Yeah, I had no memory of that whatsoever. I didn't even remember
first-
the caravan, let alone the name.
Yeah, that was session 2. I
Yeah.
had notes too.
Yeah.
I checked. Okay, did we hear it from Kalisa? No. Did we hear it the second time we went back to visit the Jarretts? No. It wasn't on the skull tree. I was like going back to every interaction, like. Okay.
Yeah, no, and I had it in
Right.
my mind that you guys hadn't heard about that
Oh
yet.
my
So that's why I
God.
didn't say yes when you had asked about that. I'm going, nope, nothing there.
Yeah.
So,
Missing caravan from the north, Mirabar. Yep, I have it written right here. God damn. You know why I missed it? It is dead set in the middle of an entire page that I have dedicated to the Iron Vanguard and all of their members and notes. So it just got lost in there.
priorities.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was a little worried about them at the time, yeah.
As you should be. I mean, what? Sorry.
What?
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 No magic here.
Says I lost my pen. Oh wait, no. Never mind.
No.
But beyond that, Awen is, if she's got the time, she's gonna use it. Not really expecting a Eureka, but hey, worst case scenario, they get valuables. I don't know. Like,
There's not much else left in here of interest or value.
Yeah.
But you are able to kind of pull things apart.
oh, the last thing I wanted to look at is that wax seal to see if the symbol was on that as well.
Okay. The symbol is not. The wax seal
Okay.
is the initial M. And the wax with this wax seal kit is an earthy brown coloration.
When I head back, I'm gonna make a point of going out the front, kind of gather myself, my composure again, and do the whole kind of fake smile thing, just to make it look more normal than trying to like go out the back, just trying to keep that appearance of everything's cool.
Okay. And she kind of matches the energy, whether it be intentional or not. This is not what I want. Go away, Windows. But, you know, has that hospitality, polite smile plastered on her face and gives a gentle wave. And you feel her watching as you exit once more.
What was that last part?
He can feel her watching as he exits. He can feel her watching again.
Weirdo.
And I will just head back to Maliko's hut.
And you come into a very different setting, as you know. I kind of picture all the things being pulled off all the shelves and furniture kind of being pulled away from the walls a little bit. Things
Yeah,
kind of
it's
stacked
not-
and lined up.
Yeah, it's not like she's tearing things off the shelves, but she is going through each shelf and each dresser and each anything and going through it because she's got the time. So
I like it. And Rick is there.
there's like piles on the
watching
floor.
I'm just lying on the floor, stroking my lyre.
Are you laying
That's
down
crazy.
with the bodies or like away from them?
I was gonna say that's the other thing.
Sure.
Awen cannot be like sit down just with those bodies there.
Yeah. I kind of like picture, and I'm sure it doesn't play out this way, but I picture Contagious like coming back to the office, and Rick is like in between like playing his instrument, and he's just laying on the floor amongst the dead bodies, and there's just 4 bodies on the floor for a moment before Rick resumes playing.
Oh god, not again.
Eowyn's like, yeah, and she had a secret love for romance novels.
50 Shades of Brown.
Oh,
Oh my god.
oh, that's funny.
Rock Hard.
Oh, where? I feel like you pointed this out before. Where is that All Faiths shrine?
So on the map, let me reshare this in case you guys closed it out. All Faith Shrine is right here.
Oh, right next door. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're
So
just
you've
down
got
the street.
Stoneworks
Got it.
here, the All Faith Shrine. You guys haven't been here yet. Or
And do
there.
we? I mentioned. Do we know of any kind of actual authority in this town? Any guards? Anything like? We haven't really encountered anything like that, right?
Correct. You have not.
Ugh, makes things difficult. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna head back and kind of relay to them that she's taking probably a much needed day to process the information, and we'll get back to us. And that we're probably laying low here for the time being, unless someone's got a different plan. Because I'll bring up the All Faith Shrine because I know we wanted to go there. I'm just worried about the prospect of bringing bodies to them.
Oh yeah.
The questions
It's
that'll
not
get
right
asked.
away.
Yeah. I kind of want to
I'm
have
more-
some more solid ideas of who to trust and what's going on before we start revealing what's happened.
I'm more thinking about Eowyn does not want to spend any more time than she has to be with her friends' bodies.
No, as soon
And
as
then-
we make the decision to stay here, I plan on moving the bodies at least just one layer lower into the trapdoor,
Yeah.
so that also if someone comes in, they don't just see bodies.
I think, and then, but also on top of that, Eowyn being claustrophobic and having not, oh, I mean, she did step outside a little bit for, yeah, okay. She'll tough it up.
So
Um,
I will take slowly one by one the bodies and just a little ways through the trapdoor
Okay.
into the tunnel there for now.
Okay. And you are able to do so. You don't need to roll anything for it. As you're taking your time, you said one by one.
Yeah. What time is it? Is it starting to become like late afternoon,
Yeah.
evening-ish?
Yeah, it's late afternoon. And
Oh shit! I have a date tonight. Oh god.
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
did you see my message in the,
let's see.
in just the general, I said, can we say that Eowyn told Frank it is still on? We need info.
I feel like he's still on board. I mean, I'm just gonna go to the location and see if he's.
All he knows is he got the half day off work. No
Yeah.
reason not to come back for the date.
So here's the dilemma. I want to go to this meeting because this seems like someone who is not one of them that has information on them that could point us in the right direction. I do not
Yeah.
want to leave this place unguarded, and I
Yeah.
don't want to go by myself. So that is very
Yeah.
limited options on how we split this.
None of us
To be
can always
fair,
go-
if anyone's going alone, I probably have the best bet of at least getting out before they can hit me too hard. But
yeah,
Don't tempt the
that is a
fates.
dilemma.
also, if we just leave one person behind here and someone's come snooping, that's a whole other thing. And oh, top of my head, and this is contagious. You two stay here.
Meeting was here though, right?
No, he
Like
gave me an
at-
address.
Shit.
It was further into the town.
That's a contagious call.
If you two are okay with it, you two stay here. I let them know where I'm heading. If I'm not back in an hour, make a choice.
Make a choice.
I mean, yeah, come do what you got. Like that. I do not intend to make this a long meeting.
Yeah.
So.
Looking
this
at the
point-
address, do we know how far it is?
I think I had a general idea where it was, but I forget.
Didn't
so,
like Kalisa or someone draw us a map or something? Or did I make that up?
I believe somebody gave you a map. Yeah, I don't remember which of you have it, but yeah, somebody has a map. And it would be like a casual walk, 10 to 15 minutes, if that, because you guys are going from Malikos to over here.
That's right. Yeah. So.
Are we once again splitting the party?
Oh, I hate this.
I don't like splitting
I
the party.
mean,
I know, but I don't.
I think we need the info though.
We need the info, and I do not trust leaving this place alone.
Can we?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of this comes down to
I mean,
who
do we
gets
have
to
to
break
do
the
it right
story
now?
how?
Can we take a long rest and like?
I mean, he wanted me to meet him tonight at this location.
He's got a date.
Yeah.
I'm
You guys
saying
could
it was
definitely
just-
short rest if you guys wanted to short rest before meeting him.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
I
are
could
wanting
short
to,
rest.
Yeah, but if you're wanting
So
to,
at least I'd heal up a bit, but I won't have
Yeah.
anything.
yeah.
I was wondering if, I mean, I guess Awen wasn't exactly resting, but if Wild was out doing his thing at the swinging sword, if at least Rick would have gotten a short rest.
Not quite, because I don't think
Short
Aegis was
rests don't
gone
really
for
do
an
much
hour.
for guard, so it don't matter.
Well, if this
Gotcha.
makes a
What?
difference, short rests do the world for me.
With the HP.
I get HP, I get my action surge, and I get my second wind back. So I'm in a pretty good state if I need to. And my response if someone tries to do anything is I'm booking it. So I can action surge to run, I can heal myself. I'm in the best situation. If we do a short rest, which we have time to do because it's not nightfall yet,
Yeah.
if I can heal up and do that, I'm in a pretty good position to do this by myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you guys decide to long rest, you will miss that designated window for the meeting with Frank.
Yeah. So
That's,
I guess
That's
short
a
rest, and
contagious.
and Rick will do a song of rest.
Hell yeah.
what's it sound like?
I don't.
The first thing that came to my head was the gift that you had just posted, Rick.
Go to
that's so
sleep.
fun.
Go to sleep.
I feel
All right.
like Let the Bodies Hit the Floor and It's Raining Men. It's the same song, just from different perspectives.
Yeah.
So this is one thing I'm not knowledgeable on. I always forget how this works. How do hit dice work on a short rest? You just get to use one to heal up? Is that...
You can use as many of them as you want. So if you've got 3 hit dice, you can use all 3 if you choose to. And then on the main tab of your character sheet, under where it has your wound and max health and temporary health and all that stuff, there's a little box underneath that says HD, and then it'll have a dice.
Oh, nice.
And then the number on the dice will tell you how many expenditures you have of it.
And the Song of Rest gives you an extra D6.
An extra D6?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will do that then. We will short rest.
Alright. We short rest in it.
Yeah, I had to double check. I couldn't remember, but I was pretty sure me getting action surge and second win on a short rest is a big pain for my ability to run.
Oh, you have to expend a hit dice. That's stupid.
Yeah, so you have
yeah.
to, but it's nice because you can use 1 hit dice and then use the extra d6 on top of that. instead of having to use. all of
I
your hit
currently have
dice.
14 wounds on me, so I appreciate it if you feel like doing that. But I also could probably heal
I mean,
most
it's
of that with
free
just
for
my.
me, so don't matter.
Okay, cool. Do I just? click it?
Yeah,
A
you should be able
short
to
rest.
click. Nice. And then go ahead and roll your d6, and you can manually enter that.
Where do we? Is there anything we hit for
Yeah.
rest?
Is
Cool.
there anything
Where
that
is
you
that?
get? Okay, so
No hit. Like, what do I
Oh,
need to
okay.
do to re?
on the main tab of your character sheet, at the very bottom, under where your wound, your max health, and your temporary health is, there's a box under that. To the left of it, it says HD has a magnifying glass, and then in the box itself, it has a dice. Yours has a dice that has a number 3 in it. You should be able to
Mhm.
single click that, and if it's not a single click, then it's a double click.
Yippee! Nice.
Perfect. And then you get an extra d6 to roll, and that one you'll manually enter. I love those dice,
Me?
Rick. Yeah. Well, everybody. Because Rick
Everybody.
gave the Song of Rest.
Oh no. It doesn't count
Which,
because it's not.
to be fair, you have 1 wound, so just take it off.
Yeah.
Like you're full healed. I'm the only one who didn't full heal, but I have 22 HP even with the 3 wounds, so I'm fine for right now.
Nice.
Oh no, wrong way.
Yes. Yeah, the lower
honestly,
your
though-
wound category, the better.
Yeah, learned that the hard way.
There's no reason not to full heal. There we go. I still have a hit dice if for some reason I need to use it.
Ballin'.
So.
Okay.
All right.
So as you guys short rest, and I don't think this has been discussed, but you guys, if you are taking a short rest or if you take an hour during a long rest, you do have the capability of using that time to kind of tune into an item, and you can identify things that way. Awen, if you want
Amulet.
to, yes.
Oh, yeah, they got
Yes, please.
Okay. I have not manually entered this into Fantasy Grounds. I will be doing that this weekend. I've got a lot of stuff to finger jam. But what
Yeah.
you have is an amulet
Mhm.
of earthen control. And it grants the wearer, yes, you have to attune to it, but it grants the wearer access to the mold earth cantrip.
What the shit?
Oh, that's actually.
Amulet of Earth and Control.
Yes.
Yeah, but look at what they're doing now.
Seems like a helpful thing to have at a stone quarry.
Yeah.
Hey, I was wondering
Like, well, it's not gonna curse.
that glass orb
Bullshit.
of the drift orb.
The drift orb?
Fucking
So that
The,
had
um,
spells in it
password.
when it shattered, right?
Yes.
The fucking dog shit out of it. Yeah.
Can I do some sort of check to see if maybe I could cast something into it and maybe it could store something that I could cast in the future or something like that?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check, please.
Wait, what orb are we talking about?
The drift
The one that I
orb.
smashed.
Yeah, the one that got smashed that caused blindness for you and Rick. The second
Yeah,
time
did
you
we
died.
keep it?
I'll kind of reach out my hand to Awen and I'll say, "Hey, Awen, I'm gonna do something cool here. Can I have your guidance, please?"
Sure. She'll give it to him. Did we keep shards of
Oh
that
my
orb, or did we
frick.
mend it?
He collected
I'm
them and has been
spray.
piecing it back together. You're gonna answer that? Okay, perfect.
Okay.
That's
Much
better.
better.
Okay.
And then your
I was gonna say Rick has
D4.
been
Inspiration.
mending that orb.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
right, I
max,
forgot
so
about
it's
that.
22. Rick, as you take a moment to kind of tune into the remnants of this orb, of this drift globe, obviously knowing that it had magical properties prior to its demise, the world around you grows kind of hazy, almost foggy, and takes on a bluish, purplish hue And as you look around, it kind of slows down, and there's a little bit of a trail from your vision. And as you look at this orb, the cracks in the orb are faintly illuminated. And being a caster and having magical inclinations and capabilities, this is something that you would recognize as the remnants of what once held magic. And as you blink and kind of turn the orb over in your hand, those lines kind of fizzle away. It does not appear to you that this any longer contains the capability of storing magic. And while you haven't had a ton of experience with magical items, you do have a basic understanding from things that you've heard and you know, different things that you've encountered on your travels and your time, that a lot of times lower tier magical items, once they're broken, no longer have the capacity to store magic. So it appears that this was a lower grade, a lower quality item.
Okay.
Oh, you
That
got
was,
pretty shiny speared.
Yeah, but that was a really cool idea. Really cool.
Yeah, that would have been
thought.
dope.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because Rick goes, "I'm about to do something cool. Can you guide me?" Everyone's like, "Sure." They watch. It glows a little, and the cracks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Everyone's like, "That's beautiful, Katie."
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I think that's really awesome.
Also, we have to do a long rest to level up, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Get
Uh,
timing, man.
I know, but it'll be so worth it. I know, but I was gonna say above the table, as you guys get access to higher magic items and things, if something were to break, and obviously it's gonna be contingent on what the item is and what the purposes
mended
are
it.
served. You've pieced it back together.
I've
I duct
mended it.
taped it.
You have a
I
really beautiful
fixed
decoration.
It. It's beautiful. It's like those lawn orbs that people put out that look like they're crackled.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is very, very pretty. But there will be
It's probably really
items that,
fancy face too.
yeah, especially for Rick's little hands. But
Yeah.
there will be, and of course it'll be contingent on what the items are. But there will be potential to, I mean, hopefully you don't have to. Hopefully nothing else gets broken or disrupted. But there will be things that you'll encounter
Nah, I'ma
that
smash
in the
it.
off chance that, you know, Contagious decides to smash things, that you would be able to restore or utilize in another way, as things progress. It's 3:09. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap up. Before we do, the plan moving forward is everybody. Are you guys staying and together and going to the meeting with Frank together, or are you guys splitting?
I think the plan is those two stay here, and I'll go meet Frank. Because there's also the element of I don't want to spook Frank by bringing a whole party.
Okay.
But only if you two are okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with that. I don't like the idea of you going by yourself, but it seems like one of our best options.
Yeah, we're kind of limited on options right now. Hi, honey, go away.
I don't wanna. Okay. Mending. So Rick, the way I was flavoring it, is because it says that, you know, you can repair a single break or tear. You're gonna have to do this continuously for a little bit before it's completely, like, all the cracks are fixed and repaired. With it being a cantrip, in the verbiage of it, it'll take a little bit of time to fully restore it to its physical former being. Does that make sense? Yeah, so it's not that it'll be cracked forever. Yeah, so like if it had... Okay, then with that being the case, okay, cool. Then I'd say at this point that if you've been doing it, especially as, you know, I kind of just picture you kind of like fumbling with it in your hand or in your pocket or something while some of the conversations are taking place as you're watching and listening. And so I'll say that by the time you guys are done with your short rest, that you'll have been able to have completely mended it if you've been doing that in some of your downtime. So, and I'm sorry, I thought I had said that, so I apologize. I wasn't more clear about that. Sorry. Can you imagine, though, if it did, like, restore the magical properties of items? That would be, especially as a cantrip, that'd be so fucking cool. It'd be so broken. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna mend Awen.
I mean, I have some in the bank, but I'm never supposed to have any. Reels and stuff. Okay. Yeah, I do enjoy the two great ones.
Mm-hmm.
Leather. So,
And what's your dex?
My dex is 12. My modifier is +1.
Oh my. Oh honey.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what?
no.
I respected though. She was staying true to the character, and it made
Oh
sense.
no.
But it
Yeah.
also makes sense, like as you've ventured out into, I don't want to say the real world because that takes away from your experiences
no, it
and
is the real-
everything. But
Yeah, no, it's definitely the real
realizing that there may be a method to the madness of the others.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I will
Well,
say,
You know that.
Because I was gonna say that'll be expensive, but where you're starting, there's some cheap options that would give you a huge boost.
and you guys could potentially, you know, network a little bit and do some trading and bargaining and things like that. And depending on who you go to and speak to.
Pay
It makes you
attention
feel
to
better.
any future bodies that are A1 sized.
Yeah, will do.
I love it.
If it makes you feel better, you're never gonna have to pay as much for armor as I'm going to at some point in this campaign.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because at some point I want plate, but that's on a good day 1,000 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would make my AC a 20.
Yes.
Oh, but yeah, we can definitely. I figured there is a shopping thing to happen once we get past the immediate issues we're
Yeah.
dealing with.
Yeah. And then above the table, and the time that you have been gone and split off from being at Valavos, there would be another shipment that came in. And this is something that I was going to mention to you, JJ, too, when we got together tonight. You know, with the party comp and size and everything. And sometimes resources being limited when our cleric is down. That there will, I mean, it's not going to be a plethora of them. You know, I'm not going to just be like, here's 100 potions of healing. But there will be potions of healing. You guys will very soon be coming upon your first magic items. Which I am probably going to pick something for you guys to boost you and buff you and set you up for success more readily, rather than looking at the list. I will give them a look at everything, just to see if there's anything on there that kind of lines up with that for what you guys have put on your wish list. But I'm going to be trying to set you guys up to hopefully not lose anyone else without going too crazy with it.
Yeah, this has been a brutal tutorial, guys.
Yeah.
The starting down of this game is brutal.
We're on hard mode or pro mode. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and end my stream. We will pick up again next
Bye,
weekend,
guys.
same time, same place. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. Bye.